Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, maybe you will become a subscriber. I would love to have you here. My name is Elizabeth, for those of you who don't know me, and I am many things. I am a medium, divine channeler. I'm a spirit extractor specialist, so I do a lot of paranormal work, and I work with a lot of people who have psychic attacks or attachments, some severe cases as well, both on the individual level and also with families. I do a lot of clearing work with people. I do light language clearings, but I do a lot of different types of modalities that are really geared towards helping people on their spiritual journeys to ascend, to become their best version, to really come into that alignment, to come into that union. So that's just kind of a little bit about me. I work with a lot of twin flames, a lot of people who are struggling with the path, or they're not understanding what's happening, and they're looking for communication from their team, and they're looking for how to actually shift things so that way they can move forward. So I am here for all of that, but I don't only work with twin flames. I also work with anyone who is guided to work with me, where I am also guided to work with them. And I'm just really overjoyed and blessed with the work that I do. I'm really passionate about the work that I do. So for more about me, you can visit me on theparanormalpriestess.com. I will definitely put my information on how to get in touch with me in the description below, so check that. Now on to the video. So we are going to be talking about the actual energies for December, and December is a really, really big, powerful month. Think about turning on a light switch and just filling up the entire room with this light. Really, we are going to be having this huge power come in, and it's always a very, very big time. I know last year was really, really big, but this year, of course, is going to be at other levels. Some of the things that I'm going to share with you today, some of them may not sound very new, but I want people to realize that this information that I'm giving to you, first of all, is completely channeled. I actually channeled it from the Lyran Council. So the Star Lyra, or the Lyrans, were able to give this information today. But this information, I want people to know, it's going to be coming forth as a lot more of an expansion since last year. Okay, we keep on moving forward on this ascension journey, and we keep on taking on more light, releasing the old, and it's like peeling away an onion. We just keep on going through those layers and those layers. So even though some of these things we've heard before, I want people to realize this is not just regurgitated information, that this is exactly what we really, it's the highest good to look at and really to address, so that way we can make these transformations, we can shift, and we can move forward from the lower past. So right away, we have a powerful time ahead of us because of the Mercury retrograde. Now, I know how people feel about the Mercury retrograde, and it is a very challenging time when it comes to communication and, of course, electronics and travel, anything that's air related, right? Because Mercury is connected to air. So we are going to be having that through the holidays. Okay, so December 13th to January 1st, and don't forget, we also have the shadow periods that tend to last, a couple of weeks before and after. And Mercury retrograde really does bring in a lot of gifts. I know even with the miscommunications that people tend to get really annoyed at the path. They tend to sometimes say, okay, I've had enough. I'm completely exhausted from this, and I understand. I hear you out. It can be very exhausting. But Mercury retrograde absolutely does bring its gifts of being able to go back and to acknowledge a lot of what we've taken on that isn't truly our authentic selves. A lot of beliefs, programming, different habits and patterns and behaviors that aren't serving and are keeping us in a loop, keeping us stuck. So we can't clear and release all of these things at once, right? No, that's just not how it works. So we're peeling it away. So this Mercury retrograde is going to really give us a chance to go back. I do love the fact that Chiron retrograde is ending, and it's ending on December 26th, which also happens to be the full moon in Cancer. Now, the full moon in Cancer, of course, we have that full moon energy, another cosmic event. And that cosmic event is going to be really helping us to release emotions, right? We have the Cancer and water energy. So releasing emotions that are not serving, releasing emotions that have been buried, going through a lot of the past kind of emotion where it's the pain body. And being able to face these things, let me just say, it's a really, really brave act to be able to face these things. It is not easy. I completely understand. When I work with people on the individual level, I know you guys go through a lot of triggers with the Ascension journey and with your twin flame counterpart, whether it's telepathically only, whether it's telepathically and physically. It happens. And it's happening because it's benefiting us. It's benefiting the whole entire collective, as a matter of fact, to really be able to clean out and clear out and be able to bring in that light so we don't have this heavy stuff, once again, keeping us in loops, keeping us in the same toxic patterns, behaviors, toxic stories, and beliefs. So try to stay with yourself. These triggers are working for us. They really, really are. If you could stay committed to yourself and committed to love and committed to your journey, it's not going to steer you wrong. It's just not. You are definitely going to be moving forward. So give yourself that chance as much as you can. Try to stay out of resistance, although resistance can happen at times. But if you're able to recognize that you're resisting, then that's a good thing. That's a good sign that you will be ready to be able to sit with these things and acknowledge some of these layers that are coming up for you. So some of the things that I wrote down here from the Lyran Council, of course, our power center, strongly activated, our solar plexus. This is going to be that will center. It's going to be your confidence. It's going to be your courage. Okay, so where there's been lack of courage, where there's been lack of confidence, where there's been insecurities, where there has been low self-worth or low value, these types of subjects are going to be coming up, and they're going to be coming up strongly during December. A lot of things for you to look back at, reflect back on, be able to finally acknowledge it, allow it, listen to yourself, allow the emotions, allow the thoughts, and be able to come into a place where you're releasing, bringing in forgiveness, bringing in more light. It's going to be stag energy, so of course connecting with the stag is connecting with that divine masculine energy, solar energy, fire energy. So there's going to be very strong masculine activation happening now. And it's not just for your masculine counterpart. If you're a feminine and you're watching this, it's also going to be your own masculine energy as well. And any issues, any themes that are still being carried by you that have to do with masculinity. So this can go back, and many times it does, other lifetimes, other timelines, even planetary systems. It's something to understand that we carry a lot of the imprints from the past. But this masculine energy will affect both feminine counterpart, masculine counterpart, for those of you who are twin flames. Now, we are going to be having future timelines coming in, but the way they explained it to me is that if people resist, if people really say, hey, I just I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to look at this. I'm not even going to face myself with this. Then you could be in alignment with those lower timelines, which is a lower trajectory of your path. For others who are willing to do the work, who are committed to doing the work, no matter what that brings in an unattached, surrendered way, it's going to be bringing in those future timelines. And that's really, really important to know that it's a choice. We do have free will. Of course, we have the divine support. They are always supporting us to be in alignment with our path. But of course, it's our free will to come off that path. And usually when that happens, though, when someone comes off their path, there will be really powerful tower moments. And those tower moments really helps to wake the person up and say, hey, you're really off the beaten path here. Your soul really intended on experiencing this, this, and that. And there's going to be something that, gets someone to look at their stuff and look at their life so they can make those changes. But just know that still we have that free will of the trajectory of our path. The themes that are so, so important to realize here are the themes, of course, of power, right? And with the Mercury retrograde, and of course with these cosmic events, it's going to bring up the shadow of power, okay? Shadow work. Doing the shadow work really does assist with helping you to transform, to go through these processes so you can bring in more light and really align with your higher self, your I am presence, source, align with your highest destiny, harmonize. That unity consciousness will bring in the best of the best. And if that includes a physical relationship with your twin flame, then it does. If it doesn't, then you are definitely going to experience higher partnership. So let's talk about some themes that have to do with shadow of power, right? Giving power away, conquering, needing to win, needing validation, okay? So these types of things, where there has been this type of programming, where there has been us versus them and that conflict, where there has been anything having to do with control. Are you over controlling in your life? Are things out of control? Where are you giving your power away? Important to identify a lot of these things. There's a lot coming up, I have to say, with war. Okay, so we have power struggle, we have conflict, we have judgments, we have hatred towards other people, or being hated, right? And being afraid to step into your power, to speak your truth. So these are going to be very strong themes. Feeling unsafe, extreme fear, phobias, false identities, false masks, the ones that we thought kept us safe, where we didn't feel good enough, or we felt we were rejected, or we felt we didn't have enough value, we didn't belong because we felt so different. It's creating that mask, creating that identity, thinking that it's keeping us safe, thinking that we'll navigate life in a safer way and it's acceptable to everyone else and life will be easier. But all we're doing is we're not living as our true, authentic soul. It's living a lie. It's living an illusion. And so those types of things are going to be coming up as well. And they're hard things to look at. They're hard things to realize, and there's a lot of feelings, there's a lot of emotions that go along with that. There's a lot of our choices that we've made. There's usually forgiveness that's on the table there. Are we willing to forgive ourselves and forgive others? So that way we can dissolve those cords, truly dissolve them, dissolve that energy, and really align with peace and our power, unconditional love. Freedom is a really, really big theme. So I have been doing a lot of clearing work with people activation work, and these themes have been coming up hardcore. Conflict, war, false power, abuse of power, corruption of power, right? Old violence, hurt, harm, fear, corrupted structures such as government, religion, financial, class systems. We take on these types of things as imprints on ourselves. We carry these things in from our soul history, from different lifetimes that we've lived, where there's been old karmic stuff like this. And it's been very volatile on planet Earth for a very, very long time. Our ancestors have gone through so many struggles with this. Of course, we see it playing out on the world stage of power struggles and violence and conflict and war, us versus them, and hatred, prejudice. And these are the themes. It's very heavy energy to be cleansed. But I believe in you guys. I know that you can do this. And we are meant to really step in and align with our true power and really put our best foot forward and spread our true power, our true light into the world. The people that we meet, the work that we do, the purpose that we're passionate about. So it's very passionate, powerful energy that's coming through here with the solstice. I would say all of December, just all of the cosmic events here are really going to be very, very impactful. They also talked about what's happening as far as our multidimensional natures. Some of this is hard to understand, but we, of course, are going to be having light codes coming in. These light codes are going to be activating us. We're going to be having DNA strands activate. And they talked about how our multidimensional nature is just a lot broader than we may realize, that it truly is an integration with cosmic alignment or the solar system. So it's multidimensional expansion. So it's alignment with all of our chakras, our multidimensional bodies, and alignment with all the planetary cosmic connections, the interconnections of source, earth, cosmos. Okay, so our nervous system, our energies, our nervous system really are connected to so much more multidimensionally than you may realize. You're affected by so much more than you may realize. Okay, and so this earth alignment, this cosmic alignment, this is going to be strongly activated for solstice, December 21st, 22nd. And just understand that those higher chakras, so we have the 7 major chakras that we're used to, but the 6 other chakras, those chakras are really connected to your cosmic connections, knowing your divine self, connecting with the divine, connecting with spiritual beings, higher beings of light, gateway. It really carries all of that higher connection in there. So it just shows us where we're going as far as humanity's evolution. So I know some of this is like, whoa, okay, that's kind of a lot for me to think about. But just to know that you are connected to and aligned with so much more than just your physical layout of what you're used to on a day-to-day basis. We really are aligning with so much more. Universal alignment, earthly alignment. Okay, so that it's just really helpful to understand how that activation is helping us as a collective. So the Christ light coming in, beautiful time, holy time, bathing the planet, this beautiful cosmic divine light. They're urging people to take time for quiet reflection and solitude, that there's going to be, they talked about some spinal pain here, ascension symptoms as we upgrade, as we're upgrading. We're now upgrading to a 13 chakra system right? The extra 6. We're having a cellular activation as well, so cellular expansion, coming into that liquid light. Masculine healing, we're talking about that. I want to say to the masculines that are out there, if you, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. You can do this. There has been a lot of really toxic programming, a lot of burdens, a lot of this obligation type of thinking and needing to win and conquer and prove your worth and seek value outside of yourself. And that's played out in relationships, that's played out in the professional world, that's played out in social circles. And there's been so much of that where it's shut down the feminine side. So masculines, it's going to be a beautiful time to really connect with yourself and connect with how you view power. What are your definitions of power? How do you see yourself? How do you connect with yourself? What is your expression out in the world? Is that really expressing your true nature, your true soul? How do you view power? It's going to tell you a lot. There's probably going to be a lot of emotions that are going to come up, perhaps regrets or guilts or judgments of yourself, being a critic. And it's really going to be very important to stay with yourself as you go through this, because there's going to be plenty of opportunity to shift and to transform. It's a free will decision to do this, but I urge you, it's going to be worth your while, because being in your true power, nothing is going to beat that. Being here, how you're meant to be, doing the work that you do, driving things into action, manifesting and bringing them into fruition, coming from a place of your heart, your soul, rather than the shadow side of the ego. That's what's going to serve best. Okay? We're going to have balance, bringing in more of a balance of that feminine, masculine energy, left brain, right brain. Okay? And December, of course, is a time of rebirth, endings and closures. The time is now. The time is now to close those doors on disempowerment and to wipe those slates clean and to forgive yourself and forgive others, okay, for not remembering who you really were and the behaviors and patterns that came with your illusionary self, okay? This is a holy time. It is a sacred time. And this is a time where it's going to be giving the masculine energies the opportunity to really move forward in a beautiful way. And feminines, where you've had your own feminine energy damaged because of toxic masculinity, where you've had your own masculine energy damaged as well, where you have lived through this, right? The lifetimes you lived through this. This is going to be a very, very big time to make headway with the Ascension. So I hope this was really something to open you up. I hope that maybe this will give you a chance to go back to some things. If you felt like, I'm just so exhausted, I just don't really want to look at these things, or I just put it to the side. I hope that this will help you to stay with yourself and not give up, and to realize also that you are just supported by so much love. And whatever happened in the past, it does not define you. Whatever you've done, whatever toxic choices you've made, no matter how you've acted or you've behaved, whatever kinds of masks you've worn, you're not defined by that. You can make that choice to make those changes and be such a powerful being of service, which is really who you are, divine being of service. So thank you so very much for listening. I really wish all of you a beautiful, bright holiday season, and I will see you soon before the new year. Brightest blessings, and remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Take care, everyone. I love you.